Assalamu alaikum. My name is Usman. I am from Lahore. I'm a lawyer by profession, and I'm very happy to be here on Diwane-Zahra. A week ago, my partner, my spouse, Zahra, discussed her journey about being bipolar 2. And I've come here to talk about what it's like to be a caregiver to someone who has bipolar 2. And in Pakistan, it's unfortunate that talking about, even mentioning mental illness is something that's considered taboo. Having said that, I feel it's very, very important that all of us who either suffer from mental illness or are with someone who has mental illness understand what it's about to look after someone who has that. I've been married to Zahra for 14 years. I've known her for over a quarter of a century. I've loved her for as long as I've known her. And when we discovered that she had bipolar 2, it changed both of our lives forever. We have 2 children. Our daughter is now 12, our son is 11, and they have also been through this journey with us. It was 2014 when, for the first time, we took the time to actually try and understand what was going on with her. There were repeated incidents that didn't make any sense. And as someone who deals with a very stressful profession, had a very stressful boss, and someone who suffers from psoriasis, when everything was blowing up in my face and affecting our family, I honestly didn't know what to do. Having said that, Zahra was someone who was diagnosed early on in her life as being clinically depressed. She was on Prozac for the longest time. But it wasn't until 2014, end of 2013, that I knew that something was wrong. It actually began in the winter of 2013, where Zahra was on medication, but she was suffering from bouts of depression. She would be really, really low, and I spent most of my time trying to shelter our children, trying to ensure that they thought that their mother was okay, but their mother was going through something. And I was trying to explain to them that when you're an adult, you have ups and you have downs, and there are times where you just don't feel like doing anything. At that time, they were very tender in terms of the ages. They were 6 and 7 respectively. And it wasn't until February 2014, when things spiraled out of control, that I turned to Zahra and said, look, you have 2 choices. Number 1, you can continue down this path and destroy yourself, destroy your family, destroy us, or you take my hand and let's try and figure this out and beat this and actually find out what's wrong. I knew about bipolar disorder because I have friends who suffer from it and who have medication and have had episodes. But what was happening with Zahra was not bipolar, because it was a fluctuation that went from high to low, high to low, and high. I did a lot of research on my own. I started, I talked to a few people also. There's some psychiatrists and psychologists in my extended family. I spoke to them as well. And I was led on to something known as bipolar 2. Bipolar 2 is a condition that is caused whereby the person who has bipolar 2 has a few tendencies, such as number one, delusions of grandeur, number two, speaking at a fast pace, number three, excessive spending, and so on and so forth. And it seemed that at the time these things sort of fit the bill with respect to Zahra. So once she made up her mind that she wanted to help herself and she wanted to try and make things better for herself and for our family, we went to a doctor. The doctor spoke to her and she asked her certain questions. I was there with her, and it got very confrontational at times because Zahra got very defensive. She thought that she was being attacked. She thought that I was taking her to a doctor against her will. But that, as I later found out, is the nature of the beast that is bipolar 2. We didn't just go to one doctor. We went to a few doctors. And we finally then went to a neurophysician who wanted to test Zahra for something else, but he also said that she's bipolar 2. When we were told this, then I did my own research. Again, I took out printouts of bipolar 2 symptoms, different medications that one has with bipolar 2, and different ways of handling it. The common thread in everything that I read is that the strain bipolar 2 takes on a marital relationship is immense, and a large percentage of marriages end in divorce, separation, and a complete breakdown of the family structure. Obviously, it wasn't very encouraging for me as a spouse, as a father, as a person who is dedicated to his family. But having said that, we all rallied around Zahra. We all ensured that she take her medication, go to visit her doctor. Throughout the years, we found and been through many psychiatrists, psychologists, and lots of medication. We've even had to endure 2 attempts by Zahra to end her life, and those have been the most testing times for us as a family, me as a spouse, and very stressful. But having said that, the time it has taken Zahra to understand her illness and the efforts that we have made to make her aware when there's a high phase, when there's a low phase, it has led all of us to contribute to Zahra rising from the depths of where she was at. And the journey that we've been through has gone through tremendous ups and downs. And as a caregiver, as someone who loves her deeply and cares for her tremendously and knows nothing else, the journey has come at great costs to my health, to our children's health, to the well-being of all of us. But we have come through. We are still learning about this illness today, and we now all educate ourselves about it. And I can say for a fact that We're not experts in bipolar 2, but we have come to terms with the fact that the most important person in our lives, me and our children, has this condition. And this condition, although it can be debilitating if you don't want to look after it, but if you look after it with care, attention, diligence, and support, any person who is suffering from this illness, this mental illness, can cope with it, can try and beat it, and be able to deal with all of the fluctuations in mood that come with it. Unfortunately, not everyone thinks like that. In Pakistan, I can also say from experience with my own family have not taken, all of this very easily. It's taken me a great deal of explaining and a great deal of effort to explain to them about this condition. My children are very sensitive about it. Me having going through my skin condition, psoriasis, which is caused by high levels of stress, it's been very tough. There are days where, Zahra and her moods drive me batty. I've had to go through intense therapy myself in order to be a stronger person. I have started the personal journey of wellness, well-being. I am a sportsman. I love sports. I play golf actively, but I've also started exercising regularly, looking after my diet. During this time in COVID, in the last 4 months, I've been exercising every day and helping people around us deal with it and exercise. And Zahra has been an active participant in all of this. There are days when she doesn't feel like doing it, but I make sure that she does it, because those 35 minutes to 45 minutes every day help her, and they release positive endorphins. And for me, there is no greater journey that I have been on so far as the one to be able to care for the person who I love, the person who I'm committed to, and the person who I have the utmost respect and confidence in, that she, by taking control of what is happening to her, understanding what condition she suffers from, that she is able to live, grow, and progress every day with having bipolar 2. Thank you, and please, we look forward to sharing your journeys in dealing with such things, and please feel free to speak about it as much as possible.